Holy shit. Have we ever seen something more suspenseful than Danielle Brandon potentially having a wardrobe malfunction during that last event?
I mean, the internets were shaking when that was going on, right?
Dude, how great of a finish was that? I mean,
What do you mean wardrobe malfunction? I didn't watch her heat. Was her
you missed out, brother.
Was her?
Yeah, you
was
really
her
missed
freaking
out.
Things? Was she?
It'll be on a story.
She pulling a Beyonce? Who was that? Who had the freaking the nip slip in a concert?
Justin Timberlake and
that was Jackson.
Janet Jackson.
Janet Jackson.
Okay, so I think they're waiting for the men's scores to become official here, and they'll announce the winners. But I do believe we have the updated women's leaderboard. Yep. So let's go ahead and bring that up. So for those of you who joined us, we just finished the final event here at Rogue. It was 3 rounds of 25 double unders in power cleans at 225 for the men, 155 for the women. 2 rounds of 25 dubs in 5 squat cleans at the 225, 155 weight, and 1 round of 25 dubs and 5 clean jerks at 225. They've just completed 9 events through this weekend. Insane. And we've had, maybe, as Caleb's loaded it up here, it was a tight race. I haven't even looked at the official standings of the women yet. I'm going to react. I'm going to react a lot.
Maybe we should talk about the women first while they're doing the men's over there.
Yeah. Let's do it. We got the women's leaderboard coming up. Heidi Kroom, no Sevi. What an outrage. You knew this was coming. You watch enough shows.
Don't be mad. Don't be mad.
He'll be back.
Here we go.
Don't you worry. Oh, yes. Oh, man. Wow. So I almost got it right. With the pick. Okay, so let's roll down this. We got Laura Horvath in first place by 10 points over Tia Claire Toomey Orr. Oh man. And then in third place we have Emma Lawson at 650 points. Gabriela Magala, wow, I screwed that one up, at 630 points, and Alice Kazan in fifth place to round up our top 5 with 590 points. Taylor, are you stoked that shook out this way or what? Talk to me, buddy.
I feel like this probably feels better than winning the games for Laura.
Why?
Why do you say that?
Because she beat the 6-time CrossFit Games champion, and that's, I think, the first time she's beat her at a competition overall. And I would imagine that feels better than beating whoever she beat at the games this past year, especially with the monkey on her back, like she said in the post-event interview of people saying, the only reason you won was because Tia wasn't there.
And she had handstand push-ups to deal with.
And she had handstand push-ups and 500. Yeah, we don't know that she's bad at handstand walking. I'm not sure that that's ever been a thing. But 80 handstand push-ups, recovered from that.
Dude, I hope she goes back and watches the video. I mean, knowing that you won, like, cool, you won. And that was a big deal for sure. Watching, we have never, not one time, ever seen Tia break like she broke. She missed that rep. She couldn't get it up. She couldn't get the lockout. Bar came down and she stopped.
She stepped back, yeah.
Head went down, and I was like, oh, shit. Like, that's, and all the, had a kid and all that stuff aside. I mean, I get it. I understand all that. But that is, we've never, ever, ever seen a mental break. And that was a mental break. Like, she stopped. We've never seen that before. I mean, it's like the biggest thing is when we saw Rich walk on the 333s. You know, it's like, what the hell is going on right now?
Yeah.
So I think that moment is even a bigger. I mean, maybe in the sport space necessarily for us is that was a giant moment. That was a giant moment.
Huge. And I have a quote here from a wise individual. She was at the uppermost limit of her current capacity, and Laura wasn't close. She's just not in peak shape, understandably so. Laura did not look rushed in the least. She dictated the pace, and she dictated Tia's pace.
100%. 100%. And yeah, that's not taking anything away from, I mean, you could say it a million times. We get it. She had a baby. You know, there's no way she's going to be back to full, full capacity. And I think that she was looking. I think she wanted to try to put the pressure on Laura, and was trying to go, okay, fine, I'll go rep for rep, and stayed right on her. But you saw that one little double bounce on the squat clean, the last one, and it was like, okay, here we go. And that was the moment where it started to quiver before she broke.
Yeah,
so,
you definitely saw it in that last squat clean. Like the fight got taken out of her after that. The pace slowed, and she knew it was over with. Caleb, let's scroll down a little bit more so we could see some of the other women in the top 10. What it rounded out to.
I don't know. If I'm Laura, I'm nervous for the games.
Hell yes, dude. Are you kidding me?
And if I'm Tia, I'm furious.
I mean, dude, that literally, that just that whole scene right there. We talked about it. We wanted Laura to win before just the sport of CrossFit, right? we didn't want it to be that Tia can't be or is it completely untouchable. But you're right. I think that the fact that she was that close, that this early in the game, fuck.
Yeah, and like Taylor said, dude, she's got enough fuel now to motivate herself through some training. I do believe coming into the CrossFit Games. Okay, so our top 10: Emma Carey in 6th place with 550 points. 7th place, Danielle Brandon with 540 points. 8th place, Ariel Lone at 510. Dani Speegle in the top 10 with 9th place with 505 points. And Manon Agones, God, I'm terrible at pronouncing these. 10th place, 460 points. Okay, so that's gonna round out the top 10 for the women. Any like surprises in this at all? Any notable stuff? Speegle inside the top 10 for me. That's big. That's, I think, better than I thought she was gonna.
Wasn't Danielle? Good.
I was gonna say, I think the surprise for me is Dani Speegle in the top 10 for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, the way she handled that. I mean, seeing her excel on some of the events like the duel, and then I was expecting more on this last event for her. I didn't see it, but stoked on Emma Lawson though. Damn,
she crushed it.
She's so good.
Third 2 times in a row.
Yeah.
Danielle Brandon climbing from the bottom 10 over the last day or two has been pretty impressive, I think, as well. Because wasn't she like 16th or 17th at the end of day 2 or something?
Yep. And then look at her last 4 scores. I mean, 16th, obviously not the best, but then an 8th, a 1st, and then a 4th, which helped her out quite a bit to get into that position there.
I think that's huge for her. I think it shows a bit of maturity in starting the weekend really, really poorly, and then being able to climb and finish quite a bit stronger. I think it's huge for her.
I also can't say that we saw like a stereotypical meltdown or like some sort of like outlash or something at any of the judges or at any reps that she maybe done improperly. I think she did pretty well. So yeah, back to the maturity point for sure.
Agreed. And I look at her 2 worst finishes. The 1RM deadlift, the heavy back squat event, 2 things we know she's quite a bit weaker at. It's not like she had an event that she should have been good at and took a huge whiff. So good weekend for her overall, I think.
Totally.
Yeah, I think so too. But yeah, great point there, Caleb. Usually in these events, there's something that happens where there's some sort of outlash, if you will. Okay, I don't think the men's leaderboard has been updated yet. Has it?
Do you think they changed this? So no, I'm a bit late to the part. Do you think they changed this workout at all with the weather?
They did.
Was this the original workout?
I think they changed the location. I'm not so sure if they changed the actual workout.
Right. I'm just asking if you think there's any difference in the actual workout itself.
No,
I don't think so.
No, I just think they shifted locations.
Bill, thoughts on the changes from the first 2 workouts of today?
I think it ended up fine. I was glad that they had everybody going in the rain. Like they did what they had to do to keep it moving, and I think that was fine. I think that the adding the handstand walk in there. I wish I would have made it unbroken. What was the
Oh, that's right. They lowered the weight of this workout. Wasn't it supposed to be
Oh, they did?
275?
Oh,
The
that's
graphic,
right.
the graphic did say 175. I looked back and
For women?
saw that for the women it's supposed to be 175, and then right as they started, they changed the graphic to 155 and restated that the workout was going to be done at 155 instead.
Why do you think they changed the loading?
Well, did they change the loading, or was it just a typo on the graphic?
I think the announcer, the broadcaster said they changed the loading.
Oh, he did.
That's what the broadcast said.
It was stated. Okay. And that went down from 175 to 155. Interesting.
Which is quite a decrease in load. And I would assume because everyone did fucking 100 deadlifts last night at their 1 RM.
You think it would have mattered?
If it was 175? No, I think it was 175. The outcome doesn't change. Laura probably beats Tia by even more.
Yeah.
But I do think it is a completely different workout at 175, and it's way slower. Nowhere near
way slower. The intensity would not nearly be as there. And I mean, look at how many of those athletes failed the reps that we saw. I mean, Emma Lawson failed one, Tia failed one. We saw Pat fail, two. Yep. We saw a handful of other ones. Will Moorad failed. Daniel Brandon almost failed one. I mean, there were a lot of fails, and I think we saw that because of the fact that the weight was brought down. So it really forced everybody into that the higher echelon of that intensity realm, where just I think a lot of people don't go. Heidi, give me a break. Did I freeze again?
Hot or frozen? Yes, you are frozen, but apparently it's
what
a good.
What the heck? Why is that?
Your audio sounds great, so
I'm jumping out and coming back again. God dang it! Fuck!
No, I'll fill in for this old.
Perfect. We have a replacement.
There we go. Just like that. Upgraded.
So how was you bring old people on the show?
So Chase, your take on the we started with the women there, the top three. We got Laura, Tia, and Emma Lawson to round out our podium. Surprised at this?
I mean, I called it before the heat started, so no, I'm not surprised at all.
Surprised, motherfuckers. Yeah.
I mean, that's a great podium. You look at if you take what happened at the games last year and give everybody their due going into this. I mean, that's probably the podium you're looking at just from an outside perspective. I'm impressed what Lawson did because there wasn't as much fanfare around it like the games. She was never in the lead at any time, but just, I mean, look at that consistency. Fifth. I mean, one finish outside the top 10, like that's how you podium. And that's how you hang with two of the best in the sport right now.
Dude, she's so damn composed.
Right,
all the time.
18?
Yeah.
18, yep.
18, 19, yeah. Like,
if that's how you hang, the rest of the field is fucked.
Right.
100 points out.
Are they fucked? Are they fucked, dude? This is I always come back to this question. She's 19, right?
Right.
What happened to Mal? What happened to Haley?
Burnt.
I'm not saying it's going to happen to her, but I'm just saying, is it that?
She's not training. She's not training in those places. She's not out of her element. She's with her family. Like she went to prom. Like she's being a high school kid as a normal person and not sitting in a training camp training their life away.
Well, I think if she, I have no idea. If she's doing that, then I think it'll be a super interesting, call it a case study in 5 years to see how different her trajectory is in comparison to Mal or Haley. Because if that's the case,
right? I mean, it's early.
Because that's what I think that's what's missing from Mal and Haley for sure. I think that's what's missing.
If you look at those other two, if you look at how Mal and Haley and compare how they even just talked on interviews, I mean, the composure is completely different between Emma and the other two girls. I mean, they're all great athletes, obviously. I mean, they have an amazing set of tools to work with. But it's a matter of like kind of watching Emma as she's preparing for the event, how she handles herself during the event, watching certain things happen, and does it look like her head blows up because she just gets totally frustrated, or does she just shut down, or does she have some sort of an emotional blowout? I don't see any. She seems so just even keeled, which is
you just don't see emotion.
So
period. She's robotic.
I don't see that. I don't see that.
She had emotion at the games. I think it was like second to last event. Maybe it was after the pole event before the finale when she knew she had basically lost first place. to Laura. Like she had her emotional moment, but I think the emotion is it's not having emotion or crying. It's being able to come back from that. Like that's when you have your emotions in check. I mean, aside from Bill, but like me and Taylor, I think we feed off our emotions a little bit, right? But
that's just because I'm a little older, dude. I was doing it at the same age too.
Yeah,
so you're good. You're good.
Like, it's okay to have emotions. It's okay to get upset. It's okay to cry. It's okay to, but to reel it back in shows control of those emotions.
Well, yeah. Are you going to be led by those?
Right.
I mean, it's okay. It's okay to be pissed. It's okay to like you be frustrated. But if that completely shuts your entire momentum down, and I haven't seen that from her yet.
I also think like what Chase said about her going to prom probably to me is like the biggest difference because I think you understanding as a person there's more to life than just this. There's more to who you are than just this is what allows you to handle bad days a whole lot differently than the people who don't have anything else. You have nothing else and you have a bad day. It's like that, like crushes
what
you.
are you?
Yeah, exactly.
That's a good point, dude.
Yeah, that's great. And you could tell right when that was said, and you're like, yeah, she went to prom. Taylor, I think something clicked, and he's like, wait.
Oh,
okay.
So different. So different. I never went to prom. I was expelled.
That's
So I was having fun I was having like an at-home prom by myself, kind of.
It sounds intimate. Souza, there's more to life than CrossFit. Jeff, your head would spin with how much I do, brother. Come over and check it out. I got a lot going on, dog.
Diverse.
I am as diverse as CrossFit Tires. Alex, so many attendees were upset about the concourse.
I heard in the comments that they didn't announce it to the people that were there, that they moved the location of the workout.
With what? Dropping barbells really loudly, and people are like, huh? And like
they just started building something on the concourse, and everybody's like, "Oh, I wonder what that's going to be." And then everybody just kind of piled in over there.
Caleb, did you get a chance to see it? Did you go over there?
I did. I went and looked at it. I was probably 10 people deep, and so I tried to crane my head over. I couldn't really see much, and then a bunch of people started bringing chairs over and standing on the chairs to look over everybody else. And then eventually I just turned around and watched the billboard from the outfield from home plate and just kind of watched it from there as I listened to barbells behind me. Was
there a lot of people there? Was it super crowded? Like I guess the question should rather be phrased. If you weren't right up in front, were you pretty much screwed? Like you couldn't see anything. You had to go watch it on the Jumbotron.
If I was in the front of if I was like on the fence, I could see everything. But if I was behind 5 people, I couldn't see shit.
And you're not short.
I'm not short. I am 6'2".
Definitely not short. If he's seen over a crowd, anybody's seen over a crowd, it's gonna be Caleb. Okay, do we have the men's leaderboard is still not up, huh?
What do you think Sevan does at the game when the Bears are on defense? You think like goes to the bathroom and like occupies himself for 30 minutes?
I bet he asked where Tyson is. He's like, what position does he play on this side of the field?
What position does he play on this side?
Oh my goodness. Okay, so we still have no updated leaderboard.
Wow.
Crazy. The shakeup is there's got to be a shakeup going on, right? So as it stands right now, please note that the final event 9 is not in yet, and we have Pat Vellner in first at 6:05, Jeffrey Adler in second at 5:40, Brent Fikowski at 5:25, Roman at 5:15, Jason Hopper at 5:05 for our top 5 guys.
I don't think
people got in between Vellner and
Pat took 10th in the workout wait, I thought Pat took 10th in that workout.
Well, because
Susie, did you see that video I sent you?
No, did you send me a video?
I sent you the video where you find out who got 4th.
Right. Brent took 4th. We're breaking it here. Breaking news. Chase broke it. He sent the video.
All right, maybe Caleb will whip that up for us.
No, it's for sure. It's true. But I think that, dude, it's gotta be. I saw it too, dude. I think Vellner took 2nd because he took 10th in that workout, right?
No.
Would still be
leaderboard updated.
55 points. 50.
See.
So this is event 9 results. This was the cleanup event. Jeffrey Adler was in first, Roman in second, Dallin Pepper in third, Brent Fikowski in fourth, Travis Mayer in fifth, Noah Olson in sixth, Ricky Garard 7th, Lazar Jukic in 8th, Jay Crouch in 9th, and all the way down in 10th for this event.
Kiki interviewed Pat and told him he was the champion.
Well,
That's why I'm late. I stayed and watched the broadcast, and they interviewed Pat as the champion, and then they just stopped it.
Like, oh shit.
We didn't get anything else. Like, Pat, you're the champ. And
We have an updated leaderboard now. So if we bring it here, we could see. And
all right, dude. I didn't do my back of the napkin math.
do the back of the
all right, so watch Fikowski right there in the middle. He holds up his hands because his coach is telling him 4. And then he goes
the tear. You see the tear.
Oh, and the disappointment.
Not the shirt, but like the eye tear.
Thank you for differentiating there, David. Okay, we got our men's leaderboard updated. Can we show that here, and we'll go through these?
Relax, Heidi.
Heidi's got that angst from viewing.
Damn, Heidi, chill.
I think Heidi, she accused me of being drunk.
Oh,
I don't know why, but I
thought they tied.
think she was projecting there a little bit.
Dude.
wow.
No way.
Dude.
Official results. Pat
That's
Vellner
crazy.
first at 660 points. Second place is Jeffrey Adler at 640. Third place is Roman Klinikoff, 610 points. Brent Fikowski, they tied with points at 610 for fourth place for Brent. Fifth place for Ricky Garard at 565. And didn't we have a little bet going with sixth place and Travis Mayer?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, we did.
Oh, wow.
John Young called it.
Holy shit.
5-1, right?
That man.
Oh my goodness.
That
You know what
man.
John Yen didn't call?
Hmm.
Singles on touching on the cleans.
Oh, he thought everyone was gonna go touch and go.
Yes.
It's because he's a dumbass.
I said if you didn't go unbroken, you were gonna lose.
Oh, shot, dude.
Bold statement there. Okay, so we have our podium finishers. Well, how do we, Taylor? What are you thinking?
I think Pat barely held on. Just look through the middle of the competition and then a final day. I think the final day is very indicative of his general weakness as an athlete. This is relative, obviously. He's one of the fittest people on earth. But compared to the field, he has overhead limitations that you see quite a bit on like heavy jerk events. And he failed a clean and jerk here just like he did last year. If you remember, shuttle to overhead, he had a lot of issues with that event. Today, we had 500 feet of handstand walking, 40 essentially clean and jerks with the fat bells, and then finishing with those 5 super crucial clean and jerks at the 225 bar, I think is why we see that 9, 10, 10. But it's just interesting to see his placements versus Adler's. Adler with 2 event wins, just not quite as consistent in the top 5. I mean, Vellner with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 top 5s. Crazy.
How old's Pat now?
32, 33,
Mhm.
33.
So does Roman get the tiebreak because he has that first place? Is that how that
Yes,
works?
that's why.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Wow. Chase,
Dang.
podium finishers or top 5 men comments? What do you think?
Top 5. I think this was my top 5, just not in this order.
Wow.
I think I had Ricky, Roman, Adler, and then Fikowski and Vellner as 4 and 5. But damn, Vellner. Every time you count him out, man, that old dog just freaking comes in there and just
Claws his way
works
back.
his way through it. Yeah,
I feel like he probably wins by more if it's the pegboard in that workout rather than the handstand walk.
Mm.
agree there. Yeah.
And it's crazy to think about how much the weather affected those events, right? With the rope climb being taken out, the pegboard being taken out. If speculation here, if those things were still in it, would this top 5 still be exactly the same as how it would, or do you think it would shake out differently?
Those points are pretty close, man. I mean, you change one little movement like that, and that can definitely take the whole group and just like turn it on its head.
I think if it's a legless rope climb in the duel, I think Adler maybe wins that workout because he's one of the best in the world at legless. Like his speed up a rope. If you go watch Bike Repeater and how he catches Matt Frazier and his speed up a rope, there's like maybe Justin, and that's about the only 2 people in the world I can think of that climb a rope that fast. J.R. Howell too, but
I thought it was just because he had that cool helmet on when he was doing it.
where did Hopper finish? 8th, 9th? Or did he just bomb it on the last one?
We got and Jason Hopper in 7th, Dallin Pepper in 8th. I mean, he catapulted himself up.
Allen's last day. Look at that. First, 3rd. Damn.
Huge.
That's awesome from him. His last 4 events was an 11th, a 1st, a 4th, and then a 3rd.
Noah.
Noah rounds off our top 10. So Jay Crouch in 9th at 540 points, and Noah Olson Sneaks in that top 10 with 530 points. Wow. So all the usual suspects. Is anybody in that top 10 or not in that top 10 that we expected to be?
BKG.
More. BKG
Yeah.
here is in 12th with 475 points.
I don't ever expect him to win, but when I see him in 12th, I'm like, damn, that's not that great for him.
Where's Chandler?
Yeah, Chandler.
No.
Big whoa. Especially in the last workout, too. I was expecting him to do quite a bit better.
His movement was crap
I know it's crap.
on that last movement, on that last event. Gosh, it's so frustrating.
At least he's
I know.
consistent there.
That's
That's
what you
flexibility is there too. Like is
Mobility, dude, he curled it. His arms never went straight. His
I-
arms
yeah,
didn't go straight
yeah.
because I saw him straight on the deadlift yesterday.
I
They can go
that's-
straight.
Right. I think that's an example of, as a coach, like you have the ability, if he's willing to be coached, to take him to a different level by taking a handful of steps back. You take 10, you take whatever, 3, 4 even steps back for the entire offseason to make some exponential leaps going forward if you fix his fundamentals and technique.
If I was Noah and I was planning on going on a team with him, that's exactly what I would do. I'd be like, dude, you are never allowed to bend your arms again on these cleans ever.
Do you think Noah's the person to say that, though?
Do you guys think
that early on,
maybe
Bender,
someone who benefited the least of the changes in the programming is Chandler, based off that
Oh, the
19th
overhead.
place finish in the duel, in that 16th place finish in the handstand walk?
yeah.
You put a rope climb in there. I feel
Yeah.
like that helps him at least get out of the first 5. I don't think
Yeah.
he has the speed and athleticism to get out of in the second round, but pegboards versus a handstand walk.
Right.
Yeah, better
totally.
for him.
Yeah. Hey, did you guys notice? Scroll back up just a little bit more for me, please, Caleb. And it looked like Jason Hopper and I forgot who that one was tied for points.
Gallon?
They both Dallin, thank you, but they both had a first place finish. So how
It
did
goes
that
down
work?
to the next,
Then
it
they go
goes
to the next place.
highest place
The
finish.
next lowest
third.
place.
Third,
fourth,
fourth.
fourth,
The-
6th.
Yeah, so it just
Yeah,
keeps going down
3D.
the line. So Jason had 2 fourths, Dallin only had 1 fourth.
And then that's where the tie break was for those two.
Right.
The third one. That's awesome.
Wow.
It's crazy.
Yeah, that is nuts. Have we ever seen
That's
this
the-
many ties and points before? Finishing things off.
Not at this high of a level of competition, I don't think.
Scroll all the way to the top. I think this is interesting. It was mentioned before, but look at, not a single athlete escaped the event without a finish outside the top 10.
I know.
Right?
Oh, that's
Am I
impressive.
right?
Yeah.
You're right.
So they just exposed. I mean, they just had the brawl. I guess
Hey.
just finding holes in athletes' fitnesses.
Pat Willard. Pat didn't win an event.
Right, which is crazy.
Oh shit, you're right. Yeah, Pat standings 13th, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 3rd, 3rd, 9th, 10th, 10th. And Jeffrey Adler right underneath him has 2 event wins. Look, Mark, started it and ended.
Yeah, but those 5 top 5
Sure.
are huge.
Wow. That is crazy. Okay, so Caleb's giving some love out over there.
I'm impressed with Ricky's like resilience.
He just hung in there.
Yeah.
Like,
Just hung in there the whole time.
He to me, like just watching casually, was not like a top 5
Didn't
guy
expect that.
landing there like that. That's pretty good.
For me, the most impressive has to be Dallin Pepper's charge.
Climb. Yeah, his climb.
Yeah,
was huge.
Alan
I mean-
Pepper's final day.
That's insane. Are we looking at the potential next male games champion within the next season or two? As we see that resilience, I mean, we basically
Ooh.
everybody here counted him out, but then
I
he
don't
came
think
back
so.
and pulled the rich on a Sunday, not to win, obviously, but to get himself into a much better position than he was projected to be in.
I think he has to clean up 2 massive areas that are highlighted even more at the games before he wins the CrossFit.
What do you mean? What 2 areas?
Running,
His
running,
running.
and gymnastics density.
Who does that remind you of?
Rich. Well, no. Well, the running reminds me of Rich. Who?
Jeff Adler.
Oh, wow. Was he a bad runner ever?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's crazy. How long ago? Like Dubai when he was
2020.
just cracking on? Wow.
Yeah, so about 3 years. You could build that up. Did you guys catch the moment between Jeff and Roman?
No.
Oh.
Oh man,
What happened?
I think there were a few of them.
Did
Was
Roman
there?
give him a little
What'd you?
one of these?
Yeah. What'd you see, Caleb? What'd you see? Then I'll go with mine.
They were very cordial with each other. It
Okay.
did not seem to be, from my perspective, I did not see any animosity or any like, I'm coming for you kind of thing. It just seemed very.
I saw one in event 1 on the back part. I don't know if it was caught on camera, but Adler and Roman were trying to hang with Yella. This was on the 800, so all they had were the packs on. And they passed the warm-up area. Yellow was ahead. Then they came up, and I watched Adler and Roman fist bump each other on the backside.
No shit. All right. Okay.
They're playing a little drama for the crowd. Is that what's happening?
Wow.
I just don't think
we got
Roman,
him, guys.
I don't think Roman's as like. I don't think he's the stereotypical KGB Russian everybody wants him to be. I think he's just softy, dude.
Dude,
which
him
is fine.
sliding down the hill was like
Yeah.
the highlight of my
Yeah,
weekend.
he's like a little kid.
That's cool.
It looked
Yeah.
like
That
he had
was
a
pretty
polar bear, like I'm not going to say a Coca-Cola commercial. Well, I am saying a Coca-Cola commercial, but that's what he looked like, right? He's just like sliding down, little
Big
snow
old
day,
smile.
big old smile on his face.
I mean, outside of Noah Olsen during an event like this, have we ever seen anybody be playful like that? I mean,
Maybe
he's
Taylor a
only-
little bit if he's winning.
yeah, outside of those guys, I mean, you've never really seen that, and to see him go fully on the back and slide down the hill, I
don't
agree
think-
with what Taylor said.
I don't think there's ever been an opportunity to showcase some sort of play like that. You know, I mean, like you
True,
can wave
true,
to the
true.
crowd. We've seen all kinds of that type of a thing, but like, I mean, that's like schoolyard playground. You know, you
Yeah.
don't have time normally to do that. You know, when would you have that opportunity to do that?
Even when they had the obstacle course at the games, nobody was playing around with it, which would have been
Yeah.
kind of cool.
Yeah.
This is funny. This guy in the comments is Roman's translator adds her spin to the interviews. Roman says 3 words and she speaks for a minute.
It goes the other way too.
Yeah,
Roman could
Roman-
speak for an
Roman-
hour and
a
she would
half
respond
hour.
with 10 seconds.
I was like, Sevan, jump in there, man. We need like Morse code interview, not
Oh my
not a filibuster interview with
Yeah.
only Russian.
So how do we think this for the guys here, and then I want to talk just a little bit more about the women, and we may have Katie join us, or she may realize Sevan's at a football game and say, "Fuck that, I'm not going back with just Matt." So time will tell. Time will tell. But how are we looking into this next season? Does your mind change about anybody in particular? I mean, if we had Tyler Watkins on the show, we would ask him, Travis Mayer, top 5, no, mark it down, right? Is he still going with that? What do you guys think?
Hell yeah.
At the games, Travis top 5? No.
Yes.
Top
No.
5.
You don't think so?
I don't
Making the
think
games
top
again?
five.
No way. No way.
I think the
You-
question for Travis is, can he make the games again?
Mm.
I think he can after this.
I
yeah,
do
but that's a
too,
big
but
leap. A big leap. Can he make the games? Then he's going to be top 5. That's a huge leap.
I think it's a
Well,
fair
if
comparison.
Chase is saying, "Oh, is Travis going to make the games?" Yes, after this event, Travis makes the games. Does he make top 5? I think it's possible, but that's slim pickings.
Well,
His
we
best finish ever is 10th.
we've already talked about the difference of this type of programming at the Rogue Invitational versus like the game season, the Open, the quarterfinals, the semis, and into the game. So this I think is great for him mentally to be like, okay, I'm doing the right stuff. Cool, I got some momentum. Cool, but it's not going to be an easy just step right into the thing, right? Step right into the game. I just don't think it's going to happen.
No.
He's going to have to fight for it. And the other thing is this: it's like this. Okay, this was 9 events. Cool, but if he does make it to the games has never been, well, not for a really long time, only been 9 events. Like the longevity that you need to hang out in there and do battle is tough, you know. And when you miss and come back, like it doesn't snap the same way.
I also think, again, like his best finish is 10th, and that was 2016. 2016, I think his most recent finish at the games was like 22nd or 20th. I just don't see him placing top 5 in a field that contains Fellner, Adler, Roman, Brent, Ricky, etc., Justin. I don't think so.
It's pretty encouraging for Roman and Ricky though, coming off these injuries. Don't you guys think?
Yeah. I mean, like Ricky. Yeah.
It's tough to say with Ricky. I just so curious about that 18th and that 12th. Not as curious about the deadlift. I think that's probably solid for him. But yeah, just I don't want to say perplexed, but an 18th and a 12th in those two workouts, I think I wasn't expecting.
He's gonna go back and he's gonna train the shit out of those two modalities, huh?
Well,
Handstand.
I don't even know, like the 18, like with that's the cage, and I don't know if that was that shoulder fatigue or was that just because he couldn't hold on to the bar? You know, was it a hand tear? Was it bleeding plus water? You know, plus rain? I mean, those are what's weird is that there were some athletes that were able to handle that, and others it just stopped them dead in their tracks. So I agree with Taylor when he says that, or with Tyler when he says that what happened? I want to know what happened.
Yeah. Okay, before we jump over to the women here, do we want to just take one last scroll down the leaderboard and see if anything jumps out at us? Just catch all the way down to the bottom. Go down to Yanikowski. He's already been on a flight home.
Is he?
Fuck yeah, he took up that check on Friday and headed out, dude.
We should
Dan.
also look at the prize purses that they're coming. I just want to point out how much money these fucking people are making.
10 points, dude. It's a good weekend for Yana.
They make it worth it. Will Moorad, an 18th. Are we surprised by that? We thought he would have done better, or is
I'm not really.
I'm not.
is the best the best already passed for him?
He's a 12 to
15
15 guy.
Yeah.
So it's outside of his what I think he's capable of.
I think
I mean,
the
look at
three guys.
the last 4, 17, 17, 19, 19. I mean, like that's last in the last two events.
Yeah.
I think the three guys ahead of him are like on an upward trajectory or have the potential for that upward trajectory. I think Will is probably on the back half of his upward trajectory.
Has been there a long time, man.
Super long time. What, since
Long
like
time.
2014,
Yeah.
13
Mhm.
even? 10 years?
Do you think he goes team? Somebody just asked if Moorad should go team with Noah. That'd be a good call. Okay, anything else on the guys before we head over to the women?
Big
No.
bounce back for Hopper.
Yeah, huge.
That's another one. Yeah, Taylor, how do you feel about that? We chatted about it a little bit on the other show, and we talked about some of the stuff with his mental game, and I said this rounding off, the back half of the competition for him with the first to fourth, and then of course the 2/13ths at the end. He's probably not super stoked about that, but does that give him confidence going into the training for the rest of the season here? Do you think?
Yeah, I think he's not upset about it. I think he knows he's got some things to work on, but I think those things for him to work on are more mental than anything, and I don't think 2 months away from a bad situation or away from whatever bad mental situation he was in is enough to come out of that completely unscathed. So I think he just needs probably a little more time, find a little bit more rhythm at home, and maybe we'll see new and improved version come this next season.
And one thing I'd like to point out with Travis Mayer about that top 5 call by Mr. P Score Watkins, his points are 5.55. So just saying.
Close.
Take it for what you will. Okay, can we bring up the women's leaderboard, please, again? Sean O'Keefe, $10. Thank you. You validate me. I appreciate that.
Sean O'Keefe. Thank you.
All right, so you already know who it is. Laura Horvath first, Tia second, Emma in third, Gabriella fourth, fifth place is Alex Kazan, sixth is Emma Carey. We get the top 10 here again. Ninth, Dani Speegle. 10th is Manon Agonies. Kristen Colbrander for 11th. Laura Fisher in 12th. I really wanted to see her punch into that top 10 right as we round it out here. Paige Powers in 13th. Paige Semenza in 14th. Emily Rolfe in 15th. Bethany Flores in 16th, which is actually quite amazing because did she just not do 2 events?
Yes.
Wow. 220.
Actually, you would say she didn't do 3 events because she
Wow.
she bowed out of the deadlift and she bowed out of the final.
I hate seeing that.
She did the final.
Yeah.
She did. She was waving to the crowd.
Right.
She ended up getting capped, right?
I just fucking hate seeing that, dude. I think if you're going to go there and then you're just going to bow out of don't take the invitation if that's a potential outcome. I don't know. It just pisses me off. Like,
Yeah,
you know,
the prize
how much is she getting?
for 16th. Yeah, fuck, dude. She could go there and not do three of the events basically and still walk away with some cash. I mean, if Bethany is healthy and her back is good to go,
she's not going to be.
Is she gonna be a top contender for? Is she gonna be in that top 5?
I think she's healthy. I think it's on. I think it's what I asked Kale the other day. How much of it is psychosomatic?
Yeah, it's in the head.
And that just pisses me off as a competitor to see that, like, you want somebody to go there who's going to give it on every single event. And if you're going in even with the thought that you're not, that, oh, if this comes out, I'm just going to tap. If this comes out, I'm just going to tap. Don't fucking go. Let somebody who wants to be there and is going to die for fucking points compete. That's just my opinion. And a lot of people are going to disagree with it. I don't give a fuck.
Damn, hot take.
Sorry.
At least we even got a sorry after that. No way, dude. Come on, you're getting all soft over there. Come on.
Just negated everything you said.
No, I didn't. Dude.
Taylor wanted an invite to the women's comp. That's what I'm getting I was ready.
I would have had to tap out of some events.
Oh my goodness. Okay,
You know what's interesting?
Yep.
I was going to say, what's interesting is if you look at the top of the leaderboard and the total points between Laura and Tia, it's so much higher than on the men's side. And I think, generally speaking, the men's field was far deeper 1 through 10 or even 1 through 5 than the women's in terms of potential to win. Like 780 is what Laura finished with, 770 for Tia. The men were like 620 and 580 or 640 and
640 and
615. Yeah. So you just have like so many more guys grabbing for points than the women's field, which is interesting. That's something JR said for a while, that the men's side, generally speaking, not just at the games, but at like the semifinals level and beyond, is so much deeper in the men's field. And I wonder how long until the women catch up.
Taylor, the same thing happened. You talked about the men. Everyone in the top 5 has something outside the top 10.
Right.
And Laura and Tia, aside from their 14th and 12th, everything was top 5.
Which is crazy.
Nuts.
They're so much better than everyone else. That's
if you compare Laura's, like, her in first place versus Pat Vellner. I mean, Pat Vellner, we just said didn't win an event, and look at Laura. She's got 3 of them.
120 points from second to third.
That's nuts. Any surprises here as far as like who didn't perform up to what you guys would have thought coming into this?
Not really.
Not on the negative. Honestly, no. There was a lot of well, I guess for me, Emily Rolfe.
Actually, I have one.
Yeah, Emily Rolfe. I was like, what happened?
No, not with this programming. I thought Karin Frioka would do better. I thought she'd be top 10 with this
she
programming.
Was sick, though.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Then she was sick. So for what I thought coming in, not based off her performance, but what she was dealing with, I would have thought that. But yeah, I guess she was sick this week, which sucks because I thought these events lined up pretty well for her skill set.
Yeah.
Then on the flip side of that, anybody that did surprisingly well. I mean, we already talked a little bit about Dani Speegle, and breaking into that top 10 was a surprise. But is there anybody else that stands out? For me personally, it's Lauren Fisher. Yeah. I love, like I said, I really would love to see her punch into that top 10. That would have been awesome for her. But I still think in overall, she really wasn't even, on anybody's radar. And now she could hang with them, right?
I still think the programming changes saved Dani.
Yeah, for sure.
She's not sure with a rope climb. She's
or pegboard. If the pegboard's in there, it's so different. Yep.
But Fit Sunshine and Rainbows over there in Texas this whole entire weekend, she's not in that top 10.
No.
Whoa, okay.
If there's a rope climb in the duel, dude, that fucking dashes her hopes of being, I think, top 15, because I think she's then like an 8th, 9th, 10th, or even worse in the duel. If there's a rope climb, she's like 12th to 15th. And then also on Big Cat, she's definitely not top 10, like bottom.
And I don't mean to take away anything from Dani. I'm just with
programming matters.
What coming in, I didn't have her top 10.
Yeah.
With the changes that were all upper body pulling, high skill, which isn't her skill set.
Right.
Right. So it massively favored her.
Yeah.
But she also had to take advantage of it.
Right. She
did.
And I mean,
she did. Like when it was in her wheelhouse, dude, she nailed it.
Hey, let me ask you this. If the rope climb was still in that duel 3, do you think she would have been, Dani, I'm talking about, do you think Dani would have been just as aggressive over those logs? Or do you think mentally she was already thinking, okay, this is going to be an obstacle for me. It's an execution thing. I need to slow myself down. It's not the best movement. And then when they cleared those, she's like, oh, I'm going for it.
No, I think she knew she could do really well on a workout like that. And I think if there's a movement in there where she's like, I'm not going to be in the top. I think, yeah, it changes the whole approach.
Also, her on the logs was freaking insane.
Yeah.
Like, you're like, hey, what do you think Dana's going to do? I'm like, she'll be fine when she gets to the bags. And then she just flew.
Ninja.
I think she did like a
Slide.
Starsky and Hutch hood slide under the second log.
Right.
If you guys watch that video again, like everyone kind of like hit the ground, got stuck, crawled under. She like slid underneath. It was freaking sweet.
Yeah, the roll
Like,
over
watch
the
this
top.
over. Watch this. Knee slide. Dude,
The guys had,
unbelievable.
I thought the guys had really efficient slides going belly first almost.
I'm almost surprised no one tried like the double log roll. Like over the top roll and then just like roll into the next one. Like don't even get up again.
Someone did that.
Did they?
I want
I think Hoffer did, but on accident because he ate shit on the first log. He just was like, I'm just gonna keep rolling.
We might have chatted about this before, but I just realized too they're picking up that bag in a certain order.
Yeah.
I just realized that right now when I watched. Okay, looks like
They could change the order.
I think they made a mistake on the so they have the duel and they let the top 5 have a bye up into the front. And I don't think they should have done that, especially watching the way things went.
No.
Because like Tia, okay, so we saw where Tia got knocked. If they would have had everyone start fresh and you have the opportunity of getting knocked out in the very beginning, I think she would have gone out earlier and you had even a lower score.
Imagine an event where you walked in and be like, hey, listen, I know we're halfway through, but I'm going to give you 25 points before this event starts.
Right.
Yep.
That's what
I mean, and that's what they did.
Get 25 points no matter what. We're halfway through the competition, but because you get 25 points just for being good halfway
on the other stuff, the
After
stuff that it has nothing to do with this test.
Yep.
But all the other things before, we'll give you a go ahead. And it was crazy because if they would have lost, I was watching the points just to see like, okay, so what happens if Tia wins by like?
Well, that's the thing. I
Like
think Tia. Well, it's now I'm just making shit up, but
but it's speculation. You know,
Tia was at a disadvantage on the first run because she got the bye, so that was an advantage. But as she got the points, but she didn't get the experience, which is why she didn't make. Right, like every single person got better every round, unless they just screwed up. Everyone did.
Right.
I think Tia survives the first round if she's in it and then gets better on the second one.
Right. I agree. But I think that it's a tough conversation to have because Laura was at the same disadvantage and Laura made the most of it.
Yeah. I mean, not everybody. Like, I think it was like three of the top 5 men and women both didn't make the top 5 or were out after their first round.
Yeah.
After the bye.
And the thing is, it's supposed to be a high risk event. And that's what, like we were talking with Katie when, we talked about, why have the rope, and you were even talking about that, Chase, about how it's a execution under a high risk execution.
Yeah.
You're doing it under speed. And so by taking that out, like where do you have that same high risk? And then now if you remove the chances of a bad slip, a trip on you're like Paige Powers falls off the top log. So she has this great start, gets out there, and then boom, hits the dirt, and everyone else kind of passes her up, has to make that up. I think it's unfair to take that risk out in the event that's all about high risk.
Yeah.
I want to know how many of these changes, like the rope climb change, because yesterday when they pulled the rope climb out, it was a beautiful day.
Right.
Like it wasn't raining. I want to know how much of that change and how much of the weight change in the final was due to the stimulus the athletes were experiencing from the workouts.
But do you think it was heavier because that's the graphic we got?
I think it was supposed to be heavier, or at least on the free broadcast.
Ooh.
I think on the free broadcast,
conspiracy theory. Taylor,
Sean Woodland was like, they changed the weights, and that it sounded to me when he said it like they decided to change how heavy it was going to be. And I wonder, I think they changed the rope for sure. Oh, here we go. Let's ask.
I was going to say, now we will, we could find out here. Katie. Hello, Miss Henniger. How are you? Congratulations.
Hey guys.
What's your heart rate at? My heart rate has yet to come down from the women's final.
It has been a day, fellas. It's been a day. I might go sleep for the next 4 or 5 days. I don't know.
All right, then we won't keep you long. Couple questions here. Was Roman allowed to bring his translator out onto the field during the deadlift?
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay. Interesting. Okay, mark that
Like
one
on
off.
the field?
Yeah.
Not that I'm aware of. I have no idea.
Okay. The men's deadlift weight.
That's what after that finale. That's what we're starting with.
Yeah.
What a fucking question, Souza.
Oh my goodness.
I mean, I thought we were gonna like go roll into like Vellner finally getting on the top spot or the Tia Laura, but here we go.
Okay, fair enough. Yes, I know. I'm new on the job. I'm in training. Okay, so how exciting was that race for you? Pat Vellner at the end. I mean, you couldn't have written a better story for this. You must be stoked with that.
No, I think the race, obviously, you know, I've talked about it from the start, just the athletes coming out and doing what they do. But the way we had to pivot today, some of the changes that we had to make, moving the field of play into a very, very small, I'll call it an arena, but it's not. It was a concourse. You know, we made it look as best as we could. But at the end of the day, it was the right call because there was rain coming. It hasn't not yet rained here, but it was the right call for the way this thing needed to end. It needed to be safe. It needed to be dry, and having the crowd right up on them. I had a couple of the athletes that have been around for a while say it just felt so old school, and they haven't felt that in a long time because the crowd was up on them. Not obviously. Not what you wanted, right? Not what you wanted for the athletes, not what you wanted for the spectators here. But it happened, and it was an amazing race, and we figured out who was on top of the podium.
Did you think Vellner was losing it when he failed that clean and jerk? Did your heart drop?
I did. It did. It dropped for him because I had the same feeling last year.
Yeah.
When it happened in the finale, I think he needed 12 spots in between him to lose it, so it wasn't that close. But yeah, I definitely was like, holy cow, he's got to get this next one, or it's going to drop to second.
The first event that took place today, when was the call made as far as like dealing with the weather and stuff like that with the rain? Was at some point it just okay, it just is what it is, and we're just gonna fight through this right now? Or
well, we made the call not to do it was supposed to have a barbell lunge in it on the grass, and we made the call before we briefed the athletes, just knowing what the weather was going to look like for the next few hours, to do it with the fat bells on the grass. So that was made very early. Most of these calls, like not to have the pegboard, that was actually made last night, knowing what we knew about the weather at the time. We actually brought Carolyn Prevost in this morning at 6:45. She's a trooper, man. Texted her last night at 11 o'clock, said, hey, can you be here at 6? And she was here and actually tested the second workout for us today at 6:45 this morning.
dang.
So that's so we're doing our due diligence, right? We're not trying to make that on the fly. I talked to Josh. I talked to Bridget for a long time last night about what we were going to do with the final weights for the finale. It was actually supposed to be heavier. We actually had the contingency to go lighter with the rain, and we just kept that contingency with the move that we made, so we didn't have to change that twice.
And was that ultimately decided based off how the athletes were feeling, or was that just because of moving it into the concourse and everything else?
We had made a decision about the rain with the weight, so we already had that weight. The athletes had not been briefed on the heavier weight; they were only briefed on the lighter weight that we had. It's not light; that's all relative. They were briefed on the weight that they did, but knowing what we knew about the stack up of how they were feeling, it was the right call to go with that weight.
After watching the testing that you did for the final weights, and then making the change, were you happier with the outcome and the speed that the athletes were going with this one, or would you have rather have seen it heavier? Like with all the pluses and everything being the way there should have been or wanted to be originally, did you want the heavier weights, or are you happy with how these other ones turned out?
I think we would have wanted the heavier weights, just looking at the workouts across the board, but with all the changes we've had to make and how, flexible the athletes were, I wanted to get it right for the finale. And I think we made that right call. I think we went through the paces to get there. The one thing we didn't change was the time cap. So you were seeing these long drawn out in the women. And we had made a bunch of changes. So we didn't change the time cap just to keep that rest in there because they were only getting an hour in between events today. But we were very upfront with them, and these athletes were great. They rolled with the punches. And I said it earlier in the week with you guys, we told them the first day that we met with them, like, hey, there's weather in the forecast. We're probably going to have to pivot. But at the end of the day, we're going to make these workouts work, and we're going to find, you know, the podium. And I think it worked out. Obviously not ideal, but making the best of the worst case scenario for us.
Katie, you've been a part of a lot of finales over the years. You've been a part of one yourself physically. Leading up to this women's finale, a tie at the top for first, a tie for a podium finish. Where did that rank of just like, what was the vibe there, and where does that rank for you? Just being,
I mean, a lot of people around me said they had goosebumps when they walked out. Just watching them walk out, I think it was so tense. I think everyone was so nervous. I can't imagine what Laura and Tia were feeling, because we were all watching it just as nervous. You know, I was holding my breath almost that whole heat, and you know, they did great, but holy cow. Yeah. And the crowd was great too. Like I said, having that crowd right up on them, they were only about 5 feet off the platform there. So very cool experience, and one not to be forgotten soon.
I had a really bold take after Laura beat Tia, and I said that probably feels I said that probably feels better than winning the games for her. What are your thoughts there?
I don't know. I mean, I probably felt pretty damn good to win the games too, right? But obviously there was a lot of hype coming into this with Tia, and I think they both did amazing. You know, Tia to show where she's at 6 months after, you know, having a baby,
Crazy,
just amazing. Her rebound, and you know, that's going to light a fire under her too. So I think Laura is validating herself, and should be very proud of herself. And I think you know, Tia's going to take that into next season and do with it what she needs to do.
Yeah, it's incredible. Your internet's breaking up just a little bit here, Katie. So we'll just go through a few more and let you go here. Quick question. As I looked across the field and I was checking out all the sponsors, there's some usual suspects on there, but there was one unusual one, which was Crocs. Awesome. Yeah. How'd that come across? How'd that come into play?
So we the Arnold of this year, we were standing in the warm up, and almost every single strongman walked in with Crocs, and Bill and I looked at each other and we're like, we should try to do a deal with Crocs, because Chris Forio, who used to be at Reebok, is with Crocs now. Wow. We reached out to him, and we were just thinking about doing a limited run, and then they came on and partnered with us here for the event, and it was pretty cool. I think we sold out in our booth the first day. Didn't think they would go that well. Saw a lot of people wearing them in sport mode. If you don't know what that is, the straps your back. So if they have to run away.
Baby, that's right.
That's awesome.
But it was very cool, and they've been super supportive, and you know, giving all the athletes those. It was great to see, because a lot of them put them on and were wearing them around this weekend.
Yeah, that's all. Can you buy the Rogue ones on the site? Are those available there, or are they only available at the event?
No, we had them on our site as well. I think we still have them. I don't think we've sold out on the site, but we did a limited run.
That's awesome. Gentlemen, anything else before we let Katie get some well-deserved rest here?
Katie, how proud are you of your team and the athletes, of everything you guys had to deal with, pivot with, and just how the weekend shaked out?
I don't even know if I can put that into words right now, because it took everybody. And I don't want that to sound cliche, because everything had to work. And the one thing that we said up front to both the athletes and our team here, volunteers, everyone, is the biggest thing this week was going to be communication. And as soon as we knew something as a lead staff, we were going to communicate that across the board as soon as we had it, because we knew what dominoes had to fall after we made a decision. And every single team didn't miss a beat. They went right about their business. If they had to miss a meal, we picked that up later, and no one said anything. And we have volunteers that have been here 4 or 5 years that just love being a part of this thing. And, you know, our rogue team was here until 1 or 2 in the morning, putting stuff up and tearing stuff down. And that's a pretty normal cadence for them. But obviously with the weather, you know, I'm super proud and appreciative of everybody puts in all the time. And a lot of people don't see that, right? But it takes a lot of people to make these things go, and they freaking knocked it out of the park this week.
I'd say that takes leadership too. So you should be proud of your crew, but I think it stems from what you and Bill do.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
100%. Okay, last question, Katie. After you leave here, what are you doing tonight?
I think I'm gonna sleep. To be honest. and warm up. I'm like I told you I was delayed a little bit trying to find a warm spot that I could sit in because I've been standing out in this all day like everybody else, and I just wanted a chance to not shiver for a second.
Well, thank you very much for your time. Unbelievable that you've been so generous with it this whole entire event. Wonderful event. You could not have built a better storyline going into this CrossFit Games season. You could not have painted a better picture all the way across the board for the weekend for you guys. So thank you very much, Katie.
Yep. Thanks, guys. And enjoy it, and hope you guys get some rest too.
Thank you.
Thanks, Katie.
See you guys.
Thank you.
All right.
Dude, Rogue saved the games, dude. With Vellner and Laura winning.
Holy shit.
Damn.
I mean, you can't, come on. It gets boring watching Matt win year after year. It gets boring watching Tia win year after year. Laura winning was cool. Going in without Tia was cool. Being like, oh, what's going to happen on the women's side? But Laura beating Tia at Rogue, then going into 2024 with Tia coming back, there's like a lot of hype to be built. With Justin losing last year, Jeff winning, Roman getting hurt, then Pat winning Rogue against both of them.
Right.
I think it's
And Laura saying what this meant.
Yeah.
Want the offer back.
Right.
Yeah. It's crazy.
sick.
What do we? I've seen this in the comments a couple times. Dan, is that true? If the women's bar was 35 and then there's 165 on the bar because it was 45 15s, but I think the bar
It was a shorty bar.
wasn't it a shorter
It was,
bar?
it was a C70S bar, so it's like a 35-pound bar for the men. It might be a 25-pound bar for the ladies in that version as well.
They make a different version for women with smaller diameter, like instead of a 28.5 millimeter, it's a 20. I don't know what the millimeter is, but I think that's the discrepancy. Is they're all saying, oh, it's the 35-pound bar, but the women's was 25.
Yeah, I think it's the one to the same bar length,
shorter collars. Yep,
Correct.
Okay.
So that way you can still get that snatch grip if you're a tall dude like me.
or just
Ooh.
bar.
The less
And Will
width.
Brandstetter with a good point. Mal and Haley coming back,
Yeah.
potentially. That's a big question mark. Like, are they?
Huge
Maybe
question.
one of them. Not so
Yeah.
sure about another.
Maybe. Which one's the maybe?
I'll tell you later.
Okay. Text me, dude. Text me.
Nice. Okay, and another thing that happened each time Katie come on here and slapped us around a little bit, I turned about as red as Taylor did when she started asking me what the fuck was up with my question.
We all threw you under the bus.
Bro, and here's the funniest part. I was like, those were some of the ones that I was like working with Sevan on. I'm like, yeah, these are good. If he liked them, still like them, you know. And I just started off with that. And I was gonna ask her. I had two more. I was gonna ask her when the men's deadlift weight, like if she changed that, and then also who comes up with the workout names. But after that, I shelled up.
You fucked it up.
I don't know if you guys saw, but I shrunk like this big on the screen. I just was like,
Just froze. Like,
yeah. What's up? Just pretend to sit there the whole time. Okay, so we were chatting a little bit about the women. I think we've pretty much flipped over and turned every stone here, but is there anything else before we sign off? I mean, the weekend has been incredible. The premium footage is something that, who knows, this could.
there's a good question.
Game. What's that?
What do you think we can take from that premium footage that could use to improve the games coverage or the season?
Oh,
Do the same thing.
I mean,
the game should do the exact same thing.
Right. They would make a fucking killing on it too, dude. You know how many people would pay for that?
I wonder how many people. That would have been a good question for Katie. How many people got the $20 to $25 whatever premium coverage that they use?
I mean, what do you guys all think about it?
I bought. I liked the option of having it. I will be completely honest. I watched the free stream mostly, but I liked the option of having it. There were a couple times when I was listening to the Iron Game tailgate and they were shooting the shit, and I'm just like, But there were also a couple times I was listening to, like, you know, Sean Woodland and Adrian, and I thought Adrian was like over explaining
and
over executing
and thresholding
apparatus and building capacity and fatigue. There was a lot of that, but it's all good. I love the stream better than the game stream. So clearly the games can learn from them.
That's a good thing. Real quickly, Kayla, could we put up a poll? Did you buy the stream? Yeah or nay? Yeah, I think that's something that could definitely work in the games. I didn't get it. I just watched the free stream the whole entire time. But I think they changed the ability to switch the camera angles and kind of choose your own adventure with that. I thought was definitely something that I was interested in. But
I got it, and I would pull up the live feed stream, so like Sean and Adrian, and then the wide shot and the drone shot. And I would watch that. And that was great because you got basically 3 different camera angles. So if I wasn't getting what I wanted to see, but I was still hearing what I wanted to hear, I could do that. I liked that viewing experience.
Yeah. It just gives you more autonomy over how you get to watch the event, right? And ultimately that necessarily can buy it. Jackie said she'd buy it for the games.
I think you should do it for semifinals.
Oh, that would
that'd be cool as well.
Interesting.
That'd be sweet.
I mean, it doesn't have to be that expensive of a.
How about that? Practice it in semifinals, perfect it for the CrossFit Games.
Yeah. And this is a huge point too. Like ESPN, they have like typically multiple streams or multiple platforms of different games, college games. And I really appreciate that because some commentators I don't want to hear at all, and others I really love. And I'm sure there are a lot of people who listen to the games that feel the same way. Just like I'm sure there are a lot of people that listen to this and fucking hate me.
Nah,
I mean, it is
No way.
I don't think so. Jiggy Josh, I've been supporting Rogue since 2013, my guy. Going to my gym, and there is a shitload of money supporting.
Who's Matt?
Sweatshirt there.
Souza.
Exactly. Who's Matt?
Oh, yeah. It's turned a new leaf. Hey, dude, guess what? I'm more relevant than Fraser now. That's crazy.
The old 1P.
Wow.
Just kidding. Just kidding, Daniel. Don't fucking hit me up in the comments with your comments. I know how she gets. Okay. Anything else you guys want to go before we sign off here? We'll check that poll right before we take off. But anything else? Speculation going into the games? Last minute shit talking, Taylor.
I just think that this. I think this was this set a fire for a lot of people and set the stage for a lot of people. So I think it's gonna be. It sets up for a good season.
How many votes though?
149.
Oh wow!
Chase, you idiot! Damn.
In real time.
I'm gonna add a vote to that.
All right.
I have a question. I just followed well, Sevan's not here, so I can say this. I just followed Best Hour of Your Day or Their Day on Instagram. And they've got like 20,000 followers. Listen, they've got like 20,000 followers. And they message me. They say, "Hey, thanks for the follow." And immediately
I was automation. They did
right. That's what I was wondering. I was like,
did it have your name in it?
No, it was, is this an automation? So I responded, "You are welcome," with an exclamation point, and they hearted it just now. So I was wondering, I don't know what you think. Automation?
Automated for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
How do you automate on Instagram?
It's automated. You can hook
set
it
it
up
up.
to multiple different things. Yeah, and it'll do it. Or sometimes even if you follow them, it'll automatically send a message and engage in conversation.
My wife will do it for like construction things, like projects she wants me to do. She'll see one and then she'll tag me in it, and then it sends me a message.
Taylor's got ideas. Every time you follow a self-made training program, ding, hey, thanks for the follow. What are your fitness goals?
Oh, dude, I'm gonna fart into the mic if you don't chill.
What are your fitness goals?
Whatever, dude.
I'm not being a dick about
Trying to
it.
hype up SMTP, bro.
I'm trying to hype
Come
it
on.
up, dude. No media is bad media. All right, guys. So we got the poll. We already crossed that. This is it. We made it to the end of the weekend. And gentlemen, I cannot thank you guys enough for coming on here with me and having my back like you did. Chase, thanks for jumping in. Bill,
Oh, my pleasure. Thanks for having me.
I mean, you guys were great. Thank you to all of our wonderful sponsors: CA Peptides, Paper Street Coffee, Toe Spacers, BIRTHFIT, Swolvering, Grill Your Ass Off, and Matt Souza. Oh, Jeff. Dude, Jeff, you're like the most popular dude on the Rogue Chat, too. Watching this makes me realize how much I miss Sevan.
Jeff,
Good. He'll be back on Tuesday along with Tyson Bagent. So we'll have them on Tuesday. Jeff, don't.
Yeah, you're still here, Jeff.
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
still here commenting.
Jeff, do not come tomorrow. Don't come tomorrow because guess what? I'm just going to come on here and we're just going to talk shop. I'm going to talk a bunch of stuff about affiliates. We're going to just go over what's new in the news, and I'm just going to give my opinion on a bunch of stuff. So don't come. Don't come. Don't come. Okay. All right,
Do
guys.
not come.
I'm gonna come.
Sue's a great job, man. You and Caleb.
I'm coming.
Yes.
Great work, Susan.
Caleb, thank you.
Hey, we just went full circle to the very first message we got this morning.
That's right. All righty, guys. I'll see you tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. Sevan will be back Tuesday at 7 a.m. Watch Tyson
The Bears. Go Bears.
Watch them. You'll probably see them in the inbox. All right, y'all. Peace out.